Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another Zenless Zone Zero video, and today we're going to be doing a build guide for Yuan. Is that Big Mama Z, our newest DPS character in Zenless Zone Zero? I'm going to be talking about how to build her specifically as a free-to-play or a low-spending player. I actually think this character is in a fantastic spot for free-to-play players or your low spenders, people who can't just throw a bunch of polychromes at either farming more things or pulling more things. I actually think this character fits those accounts incredibly well, better than I thought she did before I pulled her, and we're going to talk about it. Now, the first thing I want to mention, let's start with the equipment page here and the W engine. Now, when I was doing my pulls for Mama Z, I really wanted, and I still think it's great. I really wanted to pull for this W engine. Like, I just think this thing is insane. But I was reading through my comments. I held off on doing it like during my pull session. And I really think when you're playing gacha games as a low spender or a free to play player, think about what is more fun for you. Is it more fun for me to have a better version of a character, or is it more fun for me to experience more characters? I really think that once you properly build these characters out, even without their main W engine, they can clear content in this game. And in fact, it adds a little bit of difficulty to the game, and the game is getting pretty difficult. Like those hardest stages are plenty difficult enough. But I personally would rather just have a wider character roster than a better single character. And maybe that's just me, whatever, but I think you can get away without pulling this W engine for a couple of reasons. One of those reasons is she really does like two other W engines that are pretty accessible. For free-to-play players, you have the Starlight engine. This is just fine on her, right? You're building her crit damage, you're building her crit rate. This is just going to give her a lot more attack, right? And again, the higher your attack is, the harder you're critting, and that's a wonderful thing. So I think you're fine here. And if you're a spender, a light spender, the Cannon Rotor is also a fantastic option as a W engine for her. And now we've already talked about two Assault W engines. Here's the deal. I have yet to see content in this game where you are using more than two teams. And it might be slightly annoying to be switching W engines back and forth, but notice right now I have my Ellen on like Plena Luna. She's never actually going to use that. This is just a placeholder because the last things I was doing were with my Soldier 11 and my Mama Z. So I have them holding my actual invested in Assault W engines. I really don't need a third one except to either further like really dive in and super optimize one character, or just for laziness because I don't feel like swapping them around. Hey, if that's how you want to play, both of those are legit options. But I think as free-to-play players, we have to remember we have free-to-play options: Starlight engine replica, Starlight engine, Cannon Rotor if you're buying that monthly pass, that we can take advantage of, and we don't really need more than two for a specific character role if you're just running like one carry per team. At least that's where my account is, and so that's what I'm sticking with. I'm going to stick with those. Now, I want to talk about why this character fits so well with free-to-play and light spending accounts, and it's because of her passive. If we go look at her skills and we look at her additional ability, Tactical Coordination, when another character in your squad is a support character at all, just a support character or shares the same faction, you get her additional ability. The thing that I love about that is, say you're running a team that's like Soldier 11, Colita, and our girl Lucy right here. You have a stunner in Colita. Let's click on her. You have a support in Lucy, and because these two share an element, they give each other their additional ability. And because Lucy is a support, you could just slide Mama Z into that team and you're off and running. You do not need to build a Nicole and an Anby or something like that to run her. She will slot perfectly in to any other team comp you have that is running a support, where the support and the third character are giving each other the additional ability. That is, I don't even think I realized how great of a buff that was. That additional ability buff where she gets it just from any supported character. That's insane. It's insane. So I really like that. I think that's another reason why she plays so well with free-to-play players. Now, let's talk about her gear. I think this is another area. First of all, I think there's a set you should absolutely be farming. And once again, I think this is an area where even for people who were trying to save their energy batteries in this game, you're actually fine to spend them. I really think this is a character you want to run, and you don't look at this. This is a trash piece of gear. I know it's defense, it's crap. But like, you want to run a 4-piece chaotic metal set. Let me highlight one that's a little bit better. This one's a little bit better. So you want to go 4-piece chaotic metal, which means you're probably going to have to go farm that stage out a little bit. So let's go look at that. Like if you were to go to the Scott Outpost and actually start farming this, and you're like, man, I don't know, I'm holding those batteries because I just really want to like save them for an more optimal time. I actually think this character is a very optimal time to start farming this stage, because every one of these stages has 2 different drops. This one, the Monster and Weirdo stage, drops your chaotic metal, which is going to give you the ether damage and the 4-piece bonus. It also drops Swing Jazz, which is the energy regeneration set. You just want this. Like, you want a lot of Swing Jazz pieces because it is a great 2-set option on so many characters in this game. Your support characters, your stun characters, they want that energy regeneration going. Heck, you could even run this on your DPS characters if you get an insane piece to drop, and like just via it being better stats for now, like helps you. Now the 4-piece set, launching a chain attacker ultimate increases all squad members' damage, is insane too, right? Like this is such a good support set piece of gear, but the 2-piece set is awesome on a lot of your characters. The 4-piece set for characters like Lucy, you know, even characters like Nicole, this is going to be so good. So you're getting really great bang for your buck. And again, that is very, very important for players in this game that are trying to get value out of their batteries because they're not throwing polychrome into farming. And it has been so tough for me to not throw polychrome into farming. I have farmed so much of this in the last few days, and you can see I'm literally running a defense set that I leveled to 6, trying to get crit rate here and missed, and then tried to get it to roll into crit damage once, and then I just stopped at 6. So here's the gear I currently have on her, and this is how I would suggest building her as a free-to-play or low spender. I go 4-piece chaotic metal. You're looking for crit rate, crit damage, and attack percentage. So like slot 1, this is pretty good. It has crit rate +2, so I got that 7.2% crit. Also, it got attack percent on here. It rolled anomaly proficiency twice. It's not the worst thing to miss on, like it's better than hitting defense or something like that. For slot 2, again, I got that crit rate right here. I haven't leveled this one yet because I've yet to get one of these. Like, I could level this one. I'm just out of money and I'm out of leveling materials. So right now I'm just rolling with this basic one right here. I could just switch it over. Yeah, and you know what? This one has crit rate. This one has some crit damage. Let's just switch it over. I might as well right now. So we got that one there. Doesn't wreck my set bonuses or anything. And then here in my slot 3, I hit crit damage twice here. HP percent once, and I have a crit rate on here. This is a pretty good set. It's an A rank, but this A rank, because of its rolls, is currently better than this S rank, and I haven't leveled this S rank yet. Then for your 2-piece set, this one's trash. I know this was trash. It sucks. But anyway, for your 2-piece set, I'm running a crit rate piece because I want to get her crit rate up into that like 60 or 70% area. So I'm running crit rate right here. And then the substats on this really didn't roll very good, but I used one of my stat selectors to get a Woodpecker Electro crit rate because I felt like it would be generically so wonderful. And then it rolled this way and it kind of ended up sucking. Now my slot 5, I'm going attack percent. I think you could go ether damage here. Ether damage or attack percent would be fine. But I have a Woodpecker Electro attack percent that I could just slot around to different assault characters as I want. And so I'm taking advantage of that. That 30% extra attack is nice. You can see it does have some crit rate. It rolled once into crit damage and 4 times into penetration. And this is a spot I want to talk about. Our girl Big Mama Z here is a burst character, and I'll go show you what stats I'm looking at her right now. There you go. And then keep in mind, remember, you're getting a crit rate boost by about 30% when you get her passive triggered. So mine's at 78% crit. I need more crit damage. I need my crit damage well into the hundreds to take advantage of that. So again, I have more work to do in my gear, right? And then this is where her W engine would just solve that problem for me. I digress. Anyway. Here's the stats I'm running with right here. Penetration is a good stat on her, I think, because she's a burst damage character, right? Like you get her shotgun shells loaded up and ready to go, and then she's just just pop, pop, pop. You want the biggest crits you can, and you want those shots to count. Penetrating defense will help her out. So while I think your 3 most important stats to focus on when you're rolling gear for substats is crit rate, crit damage, attack percent. A 4th one, like a not bad miss, is penetration. I do think penetration is nice on her. And guys, let's go to that's a real good looking picture right there. Let's end it on that one. This is my build. This is how far I've gotten her. Haven't had to spend $1 since I bought that $50 pack for Ellen when I lost that 50-50. And one more thing, and I just thought of this. One thing I'd like to mention while I'm just making a random video here. The E1, or whatever it's called on this one, if you were to pull again here, something that people have suggested to me, which I don't think I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to do, because like I said, I would like more characters instead of one more specific one. If you decided to go for a duplicate of her on her channel, there's a couple benefits. Benefit 1 is a duplicate really does help her damage by giving her more of her shots. We'll go look at that here in a second. The other advantage is, say you lose a 50-50. If you lose a 50-50, you're gaining another S rank character, which is phenomenal. That's great. Or a dupe for one of your other ones, which could be good as well. And you're ready for your next one when it drops. Like when, say you want Jane Doe. When Jane Doe drops, you know, if you pull and you hit her pity, you get her. So it's not the worst idea ever, and it seems more fun than pulling for a W engine. And when we're playing a game, again, focusing on fun is the way to go. Okay, now let's go ahead and do 3 regular pulls. We're at 142 out of 300. So let's see if we can luck out, maybe get an A rank at least here. Do we go 0 for 1 real quick? We go a quick 0 for 1. I'll tell you what. You get so many of these B rank W engines, man. So many of them. And I do love this like select a character pity thing that they do when you get to that 300th pull. You know, you get your select character. I just have no idea what to pick. And I probably will have a better idea once I get closer. But at the rate these pulls are rolling in, it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute. Do we even get a single A rank in this session? We do not. So, all right, that's going to be the video for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. That's how I'm building out my Big Mama Z. If that helped you out, please leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.